Hey everybody, Zach here at etrailer.com. I've got this mini excavator loaded up and I'm testing out some different chains and binders, kind of seeing what works best. We're going to take a closer look at this ratcheting binder from Titan Chain. This is going to be a 5/16 to 3/8 inch chain binder, and it has a safe working load limit of 5,400 pounds. Now, I've got it here with this 5/16 chain here, and this is a really good combination. With the weight of this mini, I have to have 4 different points of contact and then a 5th on that boom. So we've got some bigger chains on one side, some smaller on the other, but this 5,400 pound ratcheting binder with a 4,700 pound chain from Titan Chain is a really good combination. Now those are definitely underneath the weight of this mini, but if I'm putting all those chains in those proper spots, it's going to get us well past that safe working load limit we're looking for. When it comes to binders, there's several different styles. I like this ratcheting style best. It takes a little bit more effort to kind of get it extended out and bring it back in. But I think the tension that it creates, you can see on this 10-foot chain, this is quite a bit. I could stand on that, it wouldn't budge. Compared to the lever style, those are easier. They don't take as much time to put those in place. But one, I don't think they give you as much tension. And when you do get good tension, getting that to come off is really dangerous. I think that if you pop that off the wrong way, it could really cause some harm to you. And then there's styles that kind of act like a ratchet strap style. I don't really like those. They're okay in certain situations, but I don't think that I get as good of tension compared to this. I think this is just a really tried and true method, and it's kind of my preferred way to go about it. If we take a closer look at this, you can see how this works. Lift this up just a little bit, and I'll release that pawl. And I'll take some of that tension out. You can see there, just a couple ratchets, how much extra chain is laying out there. So we'll get this extended out a little bit more. And it comes off. We can take a closer look and how this works. This is going to be a really nice steel construction. It has a red powder coat finish on it. I think that over time it's going to come off. It holds up better than some of them that I've seen from some other brands. You know, the Glacier Chain one is a really good binder, but I found that the finish on that comes off pretty quickly, where this red holds up a little bit better. You can see here, just using it today, I've already started wearing some off the end where it's made contact with my trailer, but overall, I think it has a really good finish on it. And if you look closer in here, you can see how this holds itself in place. So you just change that if we want to extend it or retract it. And then when we get this all the way out, we don't want to take it where they're coming out completely from the binder, but we do want them extended out as far as possible. So to get this out, what we're doing is we're essentially bringing the chain closer together. So I'll get this hooked in as far as I can. And you can see right down here where it's going to grab into that 5/16 chain just fine. Like I said earlier, it works with 3/8 as well. But then we just start ratcheting. You can see it doesn't take that much time. More than anything, it's just getting it extended out and finding a good spot on the trailer. I don't really like my handle there to be making contact with, you know, my bucket or the side of the trailer. But just a couple minutes and we've got a really nice solid chain. We could just go back around the trailer, make sure everything else is tied down safely, and we'd be ready to go. If we take a closer look over here at this buckle style, this is a load binder. This is called the Tugger. And it did a pretty good job here, but we don't have as much range. You know, if you're in a really tight situation, you don't really have the ability to get a really tight chain. If you do have a little bit bigger span, this is when it comes in handy. But this is just a different style We'll release that same way we would a regular ratchet strap. And then we would just ratchet that down. So this one's pretty cool too, but I think it's just a little bit more limited. You can see there how it just doesn't quite get what I'm going for, where this one is much easier, few extra seconds, and we've got a nice tight chain. A couple things to keep in mind: the minimum reach on this is 22.5 inches. That essentially means that you need 22.5 at least of length of chain to grab onto. So if you were putting it really close to the edge of something, this isn't going to work out for you. But that is one of the smaller chain binders out there. And then to give you good leverage, this handle is going to be 10.5 inches. So, you know, I'm not the biggest guy, but I was still able to get this chain really tight just because I was able to get good leverage on that handle. Overall, I think this is a really nice, pretty easy to use chain binder. I like the size. I think that, you know, if you have the need to go bigger, there are definitely larger binders if you have larger chains. You know, we're using some of those 1/2 inch chains. You're going to need a bigger binder. But if you're in that 5/16 to 3/8 inch and you're, you know, only working in that 47, 5,400 pound working load limit like we have with this chain and binder, this is going to be a really good way to go. But that's going to do it for our look at the Titan Chain Load Binder.